Namaste and welcome Sagittarius to your tarot card reading for this moon phase. And it's a new moon in Sagittarius. That is your energy. And usually when you encounter your own energy in the moon, I have the feeling that it's overpowering sometimes, right? But for you, it's gonna feel real good. I feel like that new moon with an explorative fire energy, adventurous, like seeing what comes next. That is something that you feel very home in. So this is going to be amazing for you. That being said, it is a general reading, so if the message doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop the message. If it does resonate with you, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. We're going to see how this is coming into manifestation for you. Every time a single card is kind of shuffled, it wants to come out. Let's see what it is. In the spot of the 0, your soul spot, that is lust. It is in reverse, though you're not supposed to read reverses with the Thoth Tarot deck. You see it on the back. I do it anyway because I'm a spiritual gangster. For you, that means your soul decided it's time to incorporate lust. Even if it's in reverse, that kind of means finding out where that lust lies, what you're actually lustful about, and lust is not just, well, the lust is the strength card in the Rider-Waite deck. Here in the Thoth Tarot, it's called lust because it's a little more talking about the, the lust for a challenge, the pride you get from taking on a challenge. It's talking about Leo and Virgo coming together in unison. So it's something very, very interesting for a Sagittarius because it kind of talks about your explorative nature and learning by doing, or just like seeing where you feel most lustful. I kind of get the sense that even if it's in reverse here, that doesn't mean too much for you. It could mean that on your endeavors, you kind of find out what you're actually longing for. Yes, that could be. But that doesn't mean that your endeavors are not fun, you know. So this is going to be fun. I feel amazing, definitely. In the spot of the 9, that is the theme of your experience, what you're emerging from. That is the 3 of Swords. That is sorrow in this deck. But for me, it's not so much talking about sorrow, but rather about a fixed mindset about something. So, yeah, could be that you're making up your mind. Something with your endeavors is not exactly sitting right for you, and you've made up your mind either not to deal with it or to deal with it in a certain way, right? You're like, okay, this is not working out, or um, or maybe even falling in love, maybe even where you're like, I really want this. I want this so bad. I cannot get around it. This is the only thing I can think about, that kind of deal. So that could be it, which is kind of counterintuitive when you're on an adventure and you want to just explore life, and then suddenly you're in the 3 of Swords. So it it gets you kind of fixated on this. It's very interesting. I still have a good feeling about this. About you experiencing this moon. But, well, no, but let's see how this manifests for you and how this 3 of Swords is being dealt with in your experience. See, there's a 10 of Cups, a 10 of Cups in manifestation. That is your radiant self. That is you being emotionally overwhelmed and fulfilled, So, and it's a lot of cups here, it's a lot of cups. So you're probably um you're probably on an adventure, right? And all your endeavors all lead you to a strong conviction that towards what you truly want, right? Or you're getting kind of stuck on a thought, right? Like one of these cups is just very intriguing, or or none of them are, and you realize that there's still something that your mind is like stuck on. But nevertheless, like you're manifesting your 10 of cups. I don't want to play that down. It's really like you're getting lost in the sauce here a little, and that's beautiful. Now let's see how this is playing out for you in the spot of the one that is the energy that gets you going, what gets you into this experience. That is the devil in reverse. Ooh, dancing with the devil here. Amazing. Dancing with the devil actually means going dancing, right? Because the devil talks about duality in reality as not so much a negative card, but rather a card for honoring God's creation by indulging in it, in a sense, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So it's not negative. It's a card for partying hard, and that's what you do. So maybe you're exploring a new way of life by trying the old and seeing or realizing that it's not so fitting anymore. So that could be it, but it's still going to be very fulfilling, right? Still going to feel very fulfilling for you, because that 10 of cups right here in your manifestation, that is like, woo, a lot, just a lot of emotion, and a lot of positive emotion. Now let's see in the spot of the two here how this devil is received with the Hierophant. The Hierophant in reverse is, well, you're learning something about yourself, about your moral values, right? And kind of resetting your moral values. So it's really that trial and error system where you realize what you not only actually want, but what you think is the right thing to want, the right thing to do, the right way to be. And that is so beautiful. It kind of, I mean, the Hierophant looking at a devil, both in reverse, kind of looks like an exorcism here. Oh man, no, it's really, I get the feeling that it's a good reading, but I just have the strong sense that you're enjoying yourself, and then at the end of the night, it's gonna be a little bittersweet, where you realize either it worked and it was, well, we're gonna see how this is playing out. But yeah, there's something in that sauce, that you get lost in, that is not supposed to be there. Let's see. In the spot of the three, that is the insight that you're gaining from the Hierophant and the devil in reverse, which could very well be that you realize that you had that your moral compass was off a little, or that someone put something in your mind where you're like, you know what, actually that's not true at all, right? So that is the 5 of cups. 5 of cups in reverse is, well, it's called disappointment in this deck. However, it's talking about a change in emotion, especially when you're coming like a 10 of cups is also talking about a completion of an emotional cycle. So that's amazing that you have the 5 of cups as an insight through a 10 of cups in manifestation, which is both. One is talking about an amplitude shifting, the 5, but one is talking about full completion, right? And that is surrounded by the way you lustfully indulged into reality, indulged in reality and the material, and partying hard and whatever, and what you actually think is the right thing. So it seems like you're kind of, yeah, you're shifting your moral value system towards how to live life. That is not exactly disappointing. I don't get that it's disappointing for you. I get that you're kind of actually a bit proud that you are not the same person anymore, right? So I feel like you're a little proud that you've changed, or a lot actually, right? Like by realizing that it's not feeling as it used to, and realizing that your moral value system is not the same as it was before. You're actually kind of proud that you're not that sleazebag anymore, or that you don't want to indulge. Like Like that moment when you realize, fuck, it's a Saturday night and I'm sitting at home doing readings or like working on my business or whatever, which I never used to do. I was always out partying hard, or I was always like indulging in whatever, And you look at this and you don't find yourself lame or boring at all. You're actually kind of proud of the person you've become in a sense. It is like there is friction in there, but let's see how this is playing out a little further. In the spot of the four, um, probably your heritage. Like four is for home and stability and control, right? So let's see. There is the six of wands. There is a victory. Yeah, it's a victory against who you were or how you were brought up or an old side of yourself. Well, the four is not exactly talking about the past, but it's so much connected to what you feel home in, that with the six of cups, with this upper half here, six of wands, with this upper half here, it is very much you, yeah, like being victorious over yourself, over your old self, or maybe over that Hierophant. Because the Hierophant in reverse for me always screams bullshit advice. It's either something you were telling yourself or someone else told yourself about how the world is. Well, that's just how the world is. That's a Hierophant, right? Or someone that is like, but this is tradition. Like, yeah, sorry, but fuck your tradition. If it's bullshit, it's bullshit, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been doing the bullshit. If it's bullshit, it smells. And that is that Hierophant in reverse for me. So sometimes it's just like you realize how long you've been um, living with something that you actually think is not so righteous after all. Doesn't mean that whatever was in the past is negative. For some, it's just like, it has shifted and it's been shifting for a while, and now you're kind of victorious about this, against this. With that Hierophant in reverse and the victory in the home spot, it could also mean breaking out of your karmic cycle that kind of your upbringing, your parents were in, whatever, right? Or, yeah, well, telling your daddy to fuck off, like, I'm gonna do my thing, like that that kind of deal could also be it. It doesn't have to be conflict, though. We're going to see what in the spot of the five is balancing this, whether it's really conflict or whether it's actually a win within the family. Could also be that suddenly you get a new recognition within the family hierarchy, right? Because you changed your value system, because you became another person, probably. Now, let's see. In the spot of the five, the thing that is causing conflict to erupt, probably within yourself. Yeah, there you go. Another major arcana card. That is adjustment, right? An adjustment in the Rider Waite is justice, right? Yes. But adjustment is a more fitting term for it. Is really that something profound is readjusting, realigning in your life. And under a Hierophant with the devil in reverse, that is really you being a different person, and you, um, yeah, adjusting yourself. This is all major arcana. I mean, and it's not like a tower or whatever, right? Okay, maybe that tower comes in manifestation, but it's really something that is coming from within, where you realize, um, you get a more credit or a different credit and a different self-respect for that new person you actually already are, right? You already have become. I mean, this is all in reverse, but somehow you realize something about yourself, that something has adjusted or is adjusted, and that adjustment and victory in the middle is victory over sorrow, right? Is victory over that Three of Swords, over that being stuck in a different way, and you're readjusting that. So that's very beautiful, amazing. this looks like you're growing up at whatever stage of life you're in. It looks like you're very much growing up, leveling up your energy, and just starting a new life phase here. Or the life phase has already started, and now you're like dabbling with the old and realizing you are already the new. Right now, let's see, in the spot of the 7, that is your sense of identity, what you're kind of attached to, probably what is hard to let go of, or probably something you're dabbling in, which then adjusts with the idea of that devil in reverse. Yeah, like I said, futility. There's a 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords in the spot of the 7 is trying to be tricky about something, about your life, about your relationships, about yeah, well, always finding the right strategy to, well, have no fear of missing out. That's kind of what I get from this. It's like you you are smart and you love to use your wits to get around and make the most of it and whatever, right? You sometimes feel very tricky talking to people because you know how seductive you can be, and you see that. Yeah? You're looking at yourself, how you're seducing people, and coming from that 10 of Cups right here, right? It's like you know that you have a strong pull, right? That you're very attractive. Um, Probably there's going to be some wands here. Let's see, but yeah, that 7 of Swords. With this 10 of Cups right here, and driven by that lust card in reverse. I mean, that is you realizing while you're flirting what is happening, even though you're not so much thinking about what you do in the moment. You're very much in the moment, experiencing it in the moment. But once you think about it, just like minutes after, whatever, once you think about it, you were knowing exactly what you were doing there, right? In the back of your head, you knew the words, how to put them, how to twist them, how to reel them in. That is that 7 of Swords, and you just like to play the game. And I don't want to just be all on the narrative of the one like play of the player, in a sense. It's not just about that, but it's you in the back of your head knowing what what to do, how to do it. You love the game, you love playing the game, actually, but for the sake of the game, and um not yeah, how do I say this? Well, it's a game changer, realizing that you're in for the game. You can think on a meta level what game to play, because a real gamer plays many games, because a gamer is in because he likes playing games. It doesn't exactly matter what game it is, as long as the game, you see where I'm getting with this. It's like probably you're going to pick a different subject to be strategic and witty about, maybe you're shifting your focus from being charming at parties to being charming at fundraisers, whatever, I don't know, but that could be it. It seems like the 7 of Swords is going to be used in a very different way than it was in the past, but it's still, you're still loving the lust and letting your radiant self here shine all around you. So that's amazing. Now let's see in the spot of the 8, the thing you are abundant of, and then that is going to bring you abundance. I feel like Prince of Cups. Ooh, there's love coming in, isn't it? The Prince of Cups is very, very cute. I mean, um yeah, and the Prince of Cups leading to victory, leading to that Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, it's about love. It's about the emotions you actually want to feel. It needs to be wholehearted and real, you know. And again, I'm getting stuck on the narrative of the player where he suddenly realizes just like cuddling is a cool thing, you know. But it's not just about that, right? Um, it is when kind of that realness, that emotional, yeah, that being confronted with true emotions and true love, whatever, is kind of fucking with your game, where you realize that's the moment you don't want to play anymore, or how elevating it can be not having to play, right? So that's kind of fucking with that, and or realizing that it's a different game, and you know you know what you're doing because you've been training for it without knowing, in a sense. Okay, it's like I'm really stuck on that one narrative, but I mean, it does work in so many ways, right? If it is work for you, where you like you're just changing the way you're doing things, right? And you're going a little more from the heart, making more decisions from the heart, which is like you are making intuitive decisions. You're a Sagittarius, you are just going for it. But here it is a little more sensitive and a little more taking the people into account that are object of your futility here, of your Seven of Swords. Um, so that could be it. It's like you're trying to be tricky about emotions and realize no, it has to be real. It really has to be real. Amazing, really amazing. But like an insight you're gonna have from this is realizing that you like the game, right? Yeah, that you like being strategizing around emotions with that Ten of Cups, Prince of Cups. Like being open is always like a good door opener, right? If you want someone to open their heart, open yours first, then maybe it opens their pants. Like, what is it that I can't get around this narrative of the player guy? But which works for women also. I mean, um, but it's really about like playing with those emotions. It can also be in a sales situation, right, where you just know exactly what buttons to push, right? Interesting. Now let's see in the spot of the six what you're realizing from that. The idea that uplifts your experience here and really, um, yeah, makes you confront that Three of Swords, that sorrow, which is, well, doesn't exactly feel like sorrow, but somehow, yeah. The Hermit, the Hermit. So you're realizing something about your true path. That is amazing. It's really a game changer. It's really a game changer because you're realizing what you're doing and why you're doing it, why you love doing it, or what about it you love doing, and probably changing your perspective on something, on the way you're doing it. Like that hermit is talking about finding your inner light and finding your path, your purpose, right? And like actively seeking for it, where you're like, you know what, this situation doesn't fulfill me as it used to, but I like thinking about it, or just not thinking about it, just I like going for it, and I like the way it feels, like I like the chase. So what else could I chase, you know that kind of deal. What else could I chase? Maybe, well, you yeah, you're doing it for the win, right? You feel home in a sense of victory. You feel smart about yourself in a sense of futility, well, strategy, in the Seven of Swords energy. Now that is cool. And you're coming from the lust in reverse, the devil in reverse, the hierophant in reverse. So something is really adjusting here around what you think a victory is, right? Or yeah, yeah, you're looking at yourself and at what you're doing from the meta level, and you are very fulfilled doing it. That is so amazing. That is really cool. I feel like I've been there in a sense. I mean, I'm not a Sagittarius, I'm a Cancer, so like, and with Capricorn rising, I've been, um, I've been in different situations, but I kind of know that energy where you realize, you know what, actually, I'm not doing it for what I get when I win. I'm just doing it to win, and maybe I can project that in a different way, because if it's not about the medium but about the game, I can change the game. And that's what you're doing here, Sagittarius. You are indulging in life, realizing that there's more to it by experiencing it, you know, and in a cool way, really in a cool way. Like making up your mind, realizing that you're stuck in your mind in a sense, but I kind of get that it's a good way. That's, or that is something you kind of feel too proud of to let go, because it's like, yeah, like wanting to be a better person is so stuck in your head that you can't strategize around people anymore, or like something like that, you know, and you have to make their emotional fulfillment the focus of your doing to really feel it as a victory for yourself, because you've grown, right? So that is how you put your your skills, your strategic skills that your narcissist self kind of developed and perfected to a very, like, to a service to others, right? If you change that game, that's amazing. That is really profound, really amazing, and it's all happening in the Ten of Cups energy, in a very lustful energy, with the Prince of Cups here that is just loving the shit out of you, whether that's you or someone else. That is really freaking amazing. And you're gonna pull back a little into hermit mode to see what is adjusting within you, because it's so profound, because there's all major arcanas on the board. But, well, it's going to be a victory. It's going to be really a victory, and it's going to feel real good once you got the hang of it. Especially going into the experience, it's going to feel real good. And then something is shifting, you're like, oh, I don't know, but you're going to feel so proud of yourself. So amazing. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. If that resonated with you, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. Really want to know how it feels like to you. And well, check out my other channels. Check out daywalker-body.com, the Instagram, the TikTok, and all that stuff. And just enjoy this energy. Go out there, experience it, experience yourself, right? And when the adjustment comes, change the game. I love you.